From the home of the 2024 Paris Olympic Summer Games, you're watching NonStop Local KHQ at 5.
We are in a nonstop local weather alert, and we're going to take a live look over Riverfront Park. This is in downtown Spokane. A warm one for this long 4th of July weekend. People will be filling up downtown tonight for fireworks as the summer carnival is underway right now. Good evening and happy Independence Day. I'm Morgan Ashley and for Sean Owsley. This heat we are experiencing now is about to be turned up closer to the triple digits. Weather forecaster Justin Spinney is live for us at the summer carnival in for Leslie tonight. Justin, how does it feel out there?
There's no doubt it is warm. Yeah, this is the place to be, though. The ICCU Summer Carnival. People getting prepared for the fireworks tonight. Other people just enjoying the vendors. We've got laser tag going on here behind us, and they're taking it seriously. But it is just really a beautiful day. A hot day for sure, but a beautiful day. We've got some friends down here in the water getting a nice cool off. Definitely, again, hot. Drinking water is the way to go today, taking breaks in the shade. But of course, all kinds of things to do. This is a very popular time to spend outside, especially with friends and family. But let's dive right into that weather forecast, starting with our current temperatures, because again, hot outside right now. This is really the first day of our extended heat wave today on the 4th of July. Temperatures across the region mostly sitting in the 80s. Warmer areas starting to peak into the 90s is what we're seeing right now, though. So what's it going to look like a little bit later in that July 4th cast as firework time gets a little bit closer? We're talking mostly clear skies across the region tonight, which is going to be wonderful. And those temperatures still going to hold pretty comfortable, just falling down into the upper 60s by 10 p.m. in Spokane. So not a huge cool off by the time that most of those fireworks are going to be launching off over the Spokane River. Across the rest of the region in that firework forecast, again, the skies couldn't be much better for fireworks tonight. Mostly clear skies across the region, if not entirely clear skies. By 10 p.m., again, temperatures still very comfortable, if not even a little bit warm for areas like Clarkston there at 82 degrees. Low temperatures tonight, still going to get a little bit cooler in those early morning hours where we're falling down into the 50s and 60s. Now, the reason we are under this alert is because of the heat. We have an excessive heat warning in effect. This has now been extended. This originally was going to go Saturday through Tuesday. As of today, this is now going to go from Saturday through next Friday. This heat is going to be over the top of us for some time. Temperatures expected to make it into the triple digits. So again, the message is to be prepared. If you're spending time outside, have water with you and be ready to take some breaks. We'll be talking more about the 4th of July and the heat wave coming up, Morgan.
All right, sounds good, Justin. Thank you. We are in fire mode tonight. The heat certainly not helping out firefighters trying to put out 3 fires now. Within the last 10 minutes or so, all evacuations have been lifted for one of them, which is great news. This is a fire burning in Omak in the area of Sand Flat Road. This is north of Ing Road. The brush fire, we're told, was moving in all directions. It started just after 2 this afternoon. Firefighters are warning people to avoid the area so they can get this completely out. In nearby Douglas County, a 60-plus acre brush fire is burning along Highway 172. The sheriff's office says this one's happening about 12 miles from U.S. Highway 2. It is in a remote area, with the closest city being Withrow. We don't have many details here yet, but we know several firefighters as well as aircraft are there. The sheriff's office is asking you also avoid that area. Another fire, this one's being called the Billy Creek Fire, has burned 2,000 acres so far near Lewiston, Idaho. That's according to the Idaho Department of Lands. Firefighters say the winds are blowing in this area, which is raising concern for nearby buildings. The fire started yesterday afternoon. No word yet on what started it, and so far, no evacuation orders are in place. All right, let's take a live look outside I-90 near downtown Spokane. You can see a few cars and trucks on the road there. A lot of the majority of travel right around the holiday, not necessarily the day of, but record-breaking travel weekend underway across the nation. AAA is projecting nearly 71 million Americans will be leaving home this 4th of July holiday. Now, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, more people die in car crashes in Washington state on the 4th of July. And really the main reason for that is 1 out of every 10 drivers are driving distracted. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the most common distractions are texting, eating, drinking, reaching for your phone, changing stations on the radio, and checking your GPS. Police and sheriff's deputies on both sides of the state line are on the lookout for distracted drivers, those who may be speeding or even under the influence. AAA says you may be seeing more people traveling because of a fear of missing out.
what we're seeing now is you've got a lot of folks with increased flexibility, maybe to work a hybrid schedule or work remote around holidays. So they're able to travel longer. And they also want to invest the money that they do have in experiences.
One of the busiest travel days will be on Sunday, in fact, as people are heading home after the holiday. AAA says this year's lower than average airfare prices and somewhat lower gas prices likely contribute to the surge in travel. The North Idaho DUI Task Force will be out in full force today and, of course, through the weekend. They were offering a $30 voucher so people could Uber home or around as needed, but at last check, all of those vouchers have been claimed. No word if they will be offering any more. From the roads and to the water, a live look at Lake Coeur d'Alene, just a gorgeous shot there. In addition to boaters, deputies from both sides of the state line are also on the water this weekend. It's part of Operation Dry Water Weekend, aiming at saving lives. It takes place from July 4th into the 6th. Deputies plan on educating everyone on the importance of staying sober and having a life jacket while you're out boating. While fireworks are banned throughout most of the inland Northwest, in areas where they are allowed, firefighters say please make sure they are fully out. Overnight crews with the Lapwai Fire Department say that fireworks started a grass fire. This was along 2nd Street around 11:30 p.m. It damaged the front of a mobile home before crews could get it out. Firefighters say with these dry conditions, more fires like this are possible. And about 40 minutes away in Moscow, firefighters still believe that fireworks still burning in a trash can led to another house fire. This one happened along North Almond Street, just off of Highway 95. This was around midnight. Firefighters say the home has moderate fire and smoke damage, adding it is not livable. 2 firefighters, in fact, did suffer minor injuries as well. The Red Cross is now helping 1 adult and 2 kids affected by the fire. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Well, firefighters are keeping busy this holiday, cracking down on illegal fireworks and then putting out any fires started by them. They're also on standby for the legal fireworks shows cities are putting on. NonStop Local's Adam Schwager has our preview for us tonight. He is live out in Liberty Lake. Hey, Adam.
Morgan, it's a red, white, and blue kind of day, and contrary to popular belief after I talked about the dangers of illegal fireworks yesterday, I do love a good fireworks show on the 4th of July, and I'm super excited for the show happening tonight on Liberty Lake. Now, what separates these professional fireworks shows from your average backyard fireworks? Well, to start, the pyrotechnicians have licenses that reflect hours of training in fireworks safety, and their shows are vetted by the local fire marshals before they take off. Yesterday, I rode along with Spokane Valley Assistant Fire Marshal Bill Clifford, and today I'm shadowing Clifford as he heads over to Liberty Lake Fireworks Show to give the all clear before tonight's festivities.
Lots of public, lots of people. It's a great time. I've been to those events several times, and it's good to see people go out and enjoy those type of shows where they are legal out there.
What are some of these things Clifford and other fire marshals will be looking for? First and foremost, making sure everyone who's involved in the show has their credentials and has them on them. Additionally, they have the power to call off the show if the conditions are too risky. Clifford says it's never happened before on his end, but once the firework professionals called off their own show, postponing for July 5th. Morgan, I'll be back at 6 with more on this firework preparation. Hopefully, everyone tonight can enjoy a show safely and legally. In Spokane Valley tonight, Adam Schwager, NonStop Local.
Most certainly, Adam. The city of Coeur d'Alene showed off its patriotism this 4th of July holiday. Here's American flags flying along Sherman Avenue. And the American Heroes Parade is bringing lots of red, white, and blue to Coeur d'Alene this afternoon. NonStop Local's Melinda Lee joins us in studio with a look at all the festivities. Hey, Melinda.
Hey, Morgan, and happy 4th of July. Apparently not everyone likes to celebrate by working like us, so holiday parades are great for parents like me to take the kids to, and this was a fun one. On the screen beside me, you're seeing people proudly wearing pride on their shirts, those American flags, and the parade we're going to show you here was organized by the city's Regional Chamber of Commerce, honoring those currently serving their country and veterans. The parade, made up of bands and floats, traveled down Sherman Avenue from 15th to 1st Street. One of the floats was designed and crafted by the Daughters of the American Revolution. That float commemorated the 250th anniversary of the first Continental Congress, a pivotal moment in our American history. And for one woman, she's been making these 4th of July parades a holiday tradition for nearly a decade.
Yeah, I was born in Spokane and raised in this area, but parade-wise, I've been coming ever since 2015 to this specific parade. And it's fantastic to see everybody out today.
Liked the festive attire she had there too. John Hippler, who founded the first Mountain West Bank, served as MC, and Lynn Crosby was the military hero of the parade. And guess what, guys? The fun in Coeur d'Alene is far from over. The Coeur d'Alene Resort is hosting a 4th of July concert that starts at 6:30 tonight with fireworks starting at 9:45. We have a list of all the fireworks shows in the Inland Northwest on our website, nonstoplocal.com. Morgan?
All right, it sounds good, Melinda. I know my family's trying to get out to Coeur d'Alene tonight. I hope they're going to save me a spot there so I can go meet them and not have to walk that far.
It looked gorgeous earlier.
Yeah.
That live look just looked incredible.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you, Melinda. In Adams County, Washington, hundreds are turning out to celebrate America's independence there. 2 parades were held in Othello and Washtenaw. The Adams County Sheriff's Office took part in both and took the time to meet with kids and adults interested in learning more about being a sheriff's deputy. Some new video tonight of a boat that caught fire near the Two Rivers Marina. This is in Davenport. It started yesterday afternoon. Flames and smoke could be seen shooting into the air. You can see it there in this video. The harbor master towing the burning boat. So far, no word of any injuries or if anyone was hurt badly. We do have calls into Spokane Tribal Police for some more information. So to a developing story now. This is where one person is dead and a park ranger was hurt. This is out of Yellowstone National Park, a shooting this morning. The Park Service says a person with a gun was making threats at Canyon Village, and that's when the shootout happened. The person was killed. The park ranger was rushed to the hospital. We're told they're recovering. No other details have been released. We do know, though, the FBI is leading this investigation. They say there is no active threat to the public. Well, the death toll from Hurricane Beryl now stands at 9. The storm is moving through the Caribbean. It's uprooted trees, ripped off roofs, and destroyed farms. It's now heading to Mexico and possibly the U.S. in the days ahead. Laura Aguirre brings us more on where Beryl's right now and the recovery efforts on the islands.
It was like something just out of the world, you know. It was just unbelievable. Everything you can think about is gone.
Hurricane Beryl's deadly and destructive path through the Caribbean now has it passing just south of the Cayman Islands. As of Thursday afternoon, it had weakened to a Category 2 storm with maximum sustained winds around 110 miles per hour, as tracked by the National Hurricane Center. Still packing a powerful punch, like the one that hit Jamaica Wednesday.
We are now into recovery phase.
Beryl was a Cat 4 when it pummeled parts of the island nation. Jamaica's prime minister says several hundred people are in shelters as crews restore utilities and work to open blocked roads in several towns. Officials are assessing damage and safety risks as critical aid stands by.
Which we hope to start distribution as soon as more information becomes available.
Beryl is expected to remain a hurricane as it churns toward Mexico.
Hopefully it'll continue to spin down as it gets closer and closer to the Yucatan Peninsula.
Hurricane hunters have been flying through Beryl all week, providing real-time information to forecasters tracking its path. Not an easy task with this size of storm, which started out as the earliest ever Cat 5 in the Atlantic hurricane season.
These storms change literally every hour, hour and a half. They have their own attitude and personality as they develop and go through eyewall regenerations and their life cycle changes, so they're never the same.
Beryl could strengthen again in warm Gulf waters as it rolls toward northeastern Mexico and South Texas over the weekend. I'm Laura Aguirre for NonStop Local News.
Well, communication is down in many of these affected areas by the storm, but as soon as it comes back online, officials say we will likely get some more information about injuries and possibly more deaths. A significant milestone has been reached in the cleanup at the Hanford site. Workers say they have removed 350,000 gallons of radioactive waste from large underground storage tanks there just north of the Tri-Cities. This brings the total amount of radioactive waste removed to 3 million gallons. From 1944 to 89, Hanford produced 74 tons of plutonium for the country's nuclear weapons program. Hanford workers plan to start removing more waste later this month. Well, quite a scary scene in Western Washington after a ride tips over at a carnival, leaving 6 people hurt. This happened last night on the ride called the Cyclone in the city of Oak Harbor. So we know those hurt were treated at the scene, but we don't know if anyone was taken to the hospital. The cause of all of this remains under investigation. The mayor of the city has canceled the carnival through the weekend, citing safety concerns. Well, there's more than just movies drawing people to Spokane's Garland Theater. Turns out the sign in front of the theater is spinning again after sitting idle for decades. According to the Spokane Register of Historic Places, the 48-foot marquee was erected in 1958. The sign has two rotating aspects, spelling tops and shows and theater. Officials say it's buster gear and then a missing motor are the reasons why it quit moving. Fun fact for you tonight. This is not only America's birthday, but also the final day of Spokane celebrating the 50th anniversary of Expo. The closing ceremony does get underway in just about an hour now. NonStop Local's Grady Glover spoke with the program manager on these celebrations and, of course, what's next. Hey, Grady.
Yeah, Morgan, the 50th anniversary of Expo brought nearly 140 different events and performers celebrating both the history and legacy of Spokane here to Riverfront Park. And speaking with Matt Santangelo, program manager for these Expo events, he's hoping that some of these one-time performances could hopefully turn into yearly annual events. And the 9 weeks of events brought together a wide variety of people and performances from around the inland Northwest. And program manager Matt Santangelo says it gave opportunity to underrepresented groups in the area. Santangelo, who has worked on this celebration for close to 18 months, says that the celebration was a great success, but the relationships and the future projects that come out of this event are what will truly leave a lasting impact on the city.
Yeah, it's 9 weeks. In the grand scheme of things, it's 9 weeks, but those connections, that sense of pride and place here in our community, creating those conversations amongst organizations that are doing good work in our community, that's really the legacy of the 50th anniversary.
And the Expo events wrap up tonight with the closing ceremonies, which start at 6 p.m. and a fireworks show that caps it off at 10 p.m. in Riverfront Park. And many of the groups that came to perform just one time for Expo say they would love to come back for that annual, make it an annual tradition. And Santangelo says that would be a great way to continue the legacy and history of the 50th anniversary and carry that on into the future of Spokane. Reporting live in Riverfront Park, Grady Glover, NonStop Local.
All right, thanks so much, Grady. And still to come here, NonStop Local at 5, the Mariners look to avoid a 4th of July sweep in Seattle. Noah Schmick will have the highlights a little bit later in sports. And how many hot dogs can you down this 4th of July? Maybe 2 or 3? What about dozens? We'll meet the new champ for the annual Nathan's Hot Dog Competition. That is still to come.
Thanks for watching this evening. To get live NonStop Local news, weather, and sports coverage day or night, download the NonStop Local app. We're on it.
Local weather alert.
We are out here at the ICCU Summer Carnival. This is the place to be again. A lot of people coming through, and I've been noticing over the last hour or two, one thing is gaining in popularity quite a bit. It's not going to be too surprising what it is. There's an ice cream line. That line was quite a bit longer even just a few seconds ago. Still quite a few people lining up to get that ice cream. And hey, we have our friend Alma here who just got some ice cream. Alma, what kind of ice cream did you get?
I got vanilla.
Vanilla ice cream, and is it tasty?
Yeah.
Yeah, if other people come out, should they get some ice cream?
Yeah.
You heard it from Alma, the expert right here. Get some ice cream. We're going to talk about why right now. Let's get into that weather forecast. We are under a nonstop local weather alert because of the heat. Let's check out those weather headlines right now. If you're getting out for fireworks tonight, really no matter where you go in the region, we're talking about clear skies. Really should be a lovely night for those fireworks shows. It's still going to be decently warm even in some areas for those fireworks shows. By tomorrow, temperatures continue to climb. That climb will happen all the way through the weekend into the beginning of next week. We're talking about a dangerous extended heat wave. And again, we have that excessive heat warning in effect for many of us, heat advisories for others of us. Let's talk about the next 24 hours. Low temperatures are going to be falling down tonight, still down to the 50s, so we're still getting a decent cool off, and we'll certainly take that 58, that low temperature in Spokane. Highs for tomorrow, though, they're going to be hot. 90s across much of the region, including mid-90s in Spokane. Other areas joining the triple-digit club, including the LC Valley. Now, I want to talk about a fire weather watch that is in effect. When we get these extended heat waves, these hot temperatures multiple days in a row, that quickly dries out fire fuels. And we are also expecting relative humidity values to really drop tomorrow, especially toward areas in central Washington, like the Cascade Foothills, the Waterville Plateau. So because of that, a fire weather watch is now in effect for several areas out towards central Washington. Let's talk about those humidities, because again, overnight tonight, we'll see the humidity level rise. Relative humidity is relative to temperature. So as temperature cools down, humidities are automatically going to go up, even if we're not getting more moisture in the atmosphere. But as the temperature rises tomorrow afternoon, you can see how far those humidities will fall down into the teens, showing us very, very dry conditions. Take that on to some 15 to 25 mile an hour winds. That's the reason for the fire weather watch. High temperatures into Saturday, very hot once again. Very similar to what we're going to see tomorrow, 90s and triple digits across the region. Now, I want to kind of show you a wider picture here. Infrared satellite showing water vapor, where you see that kind of orange-red blob down to the southwest. That is dry, hot air. High pressure over the top of that is continuing to work its way in, just digging its heels in. That's going to push its way up toward the inland northwest, contributing to this heat wave. So that dry, hot air is what's coming our way. And as we show you that upper level forecast, you can see again that high pressure sitting right over California right now is just going to stay there, really putting a lid on us. It acts as a wall, pushing cold air and really any active weather directly around where the high pressure is sitting. So let's get you a full look at the 7-day forecast. Temperatures well on the rise. Hottest temperatures of the year expected this weekend into next week, getting up into the triple digits. Back out here live. I think I'm going to have to follow Alma's lead. We may be getting in that ice cream line.
SWX brings you non-stop local sports coverage of your favorite teams. Check it out at swxlocalsports.com. We're on it. Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX Non-Stop Local Sports.
The Seattle Mariners are looking for something, literally anything, to get their bats heated up and going. Yesterday's loss to the Orioles was the 8th straight game that the M's had struck out 10 or more times, looking to avoid a 3-game sweep on a sunny 4th of July matinee. But things didn't look too good to start. Here is Gunnar Henderson for Baltimore Blast, a shot all the way to the Orioles bullpen. That's a 2-0 Baltimore lead after just 3 innings. But we find life in the 5th inning, and it's from the guy who hasn't had an extra base hit in 15 games, Julio Rodriguez, his first homer since June 15th. And they get another run in the 5th, so it's all tied up in the 7th until J.P. Crawford comes through in the clutch. A bases-loaded 3-run double all the way to the wall makes it a 5-2 Seattle lead. So they've got something going, and that means the very next batter, something's going to happen. Mitch Garver, some insurance, a 2-run jack, this time getting out of here into the fans in the pen as the Mariners avoid the sweep. The offense may have found a spark. They'll finish up the homestand this weekend with 3 games against Toronto starting tomorrow. And Morgan, that wasn't all the fun on this 4th of July holiday.
No, it certainly wasn't. And it's a video you have to watch because a popular 4th of July sport has a new champion. Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest was held today on Coney Island in New York.
Yeah, Patrick Bertoletti out of Chicago won his first men's title by downing 58 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. That is well short of Joey Chestnut's record of 73. Chestnut was banned from the contest. He was endorsing a rival hot dog competitor.
And I think it was vegan hot dogs, right?
Yep.
Speaking of records, on the women's side, the reigning champ, Miki Sudo, ate 51 dogs in 10 minutes, setting a new record in the process. This was Sudo's 10th title in her Nathan's hot dog eating career. Can you imagine what the preparation is for this, Noah?
I think I'm going to try it for next year. I'll do it next year.
Are you really?
Would
you do it?
No. I think I could get like 15 down. I think I could do 15.
15, that's generous.
I don't know.
I think they have to get them all wet, right? They soak the buns and everything.
Yeah, they dunk it like, there's a whole method of madness to it. I don't know if I could do it.
You got to take what's that little pink liquid that you're supposed to drink?
Pepto-Bismol.
Yep. That's
Pepto,
what you got to do. There we go. All right. Thank you so much, Noah. Thanks for hanging out today with us.
Of course.
All right. Well, that wraps us for now. We are monitoring those fires, by the way. NonStopLocal.com the next 30 minutes. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.